Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video, day 10. Will take us to the 21st of December and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. May run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. So that will get us into the first half of January. I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, the video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. So please like, share, subscribe on all of today's videos and content. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. I'm off out for dinner tonight. I'm having dinner out with my friend Jack Lowe. GavsWeatherVids regular. We're going to have a bit of dinner for Christmas. You know, have a bit of a Christmas dinner. So because of that, there's not going to be the Christmas update tonight. It will be normally released tonight. That's where it's penciled in for, but it's actually going to be pushed back to tomorrow. So the next Christmas update will be tomorrow. And no 6 AM forecast as well. I normally record the 6 AM forecast the night before, so as I won't be here, as I'm out having a meal, I won't be recording that tonight. So tomorrow morning, you're going to be without a 6 AM forecast just this once. It will be back on Wednesday. That's all right, everybody, but I have been working very hard, haven't I? So, I think I deserve a night off, really treat myself. So I hope that's all right with everybody. Hey, having a lovely Monday, by the way, and we need to put on around 80 subscribers now. Let's just put the webcam back on. We need to put on around 80 subscribers now to get ourselves to 17.5k. So if you could give us a sub to your friends and family to subscribe, it'd be amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for Gavs. Well, it's right, okay. All of that said, let's crack on then. We're going to start off having a look at central temperature. The CET is rising up quickly now. We're at 4.1, which is still a half a degree below average, 6.99 average. But you know that's come up very quickly, so we'll be above average, I imagine, by certainly by the end of this week. We'll be up in the 5s, I think. These were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We'll look at Merthyr Tydfil today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Merthyr. This is another suggested location for this part of the video, of course. So at the moment, we're around to a little bit above average with the upper air temperature. We are actually going to tick down a bit into the middle of the week. And then they'll start rising back up again into the weekend and the beginning of next week, looking really mild, as we've been talking about, with those upper air temperatures cooling down as we go through next week. How cool it gets is still very uncertain. More about that in a moment. And then as we go into the Christmas period, we're hovering close to average, but again, there is a lot of scatter within that. So you'll notice I've got some very cold ensemble members down here for the 21st to 23rd of December. They're producing a proper old cold snap. Equally though, we've got mild ensemble members up here, including the latest GFS operational run. And the scatter continues really as we go into the Christmas period. So there is a chance we might turn things cold. We might get a cold snap either before or over Christmas. But, it's very, very uncertain. It's equally as likely, if not more likely, that we won't get a cold snap. So, again, I think just need to leave that period alone and wait and see how it evolves, really. Precipitation-wise, it's going to be one more batch of wet weather to come tonight and into tomorrow. And then we've got a drying trend in the middle part of December, as this high pressure builds in, turns it very mild. We'll also be turning it drier. Looks like it's getting unsettled again as we move in towards the Christmas period. Snow row is looking like that. Not a lot going on, but there are some snow spikes there between the 21st and the 23rd of December. They'll be like the ones that are producing the cold snap and whatnot. Temperature anomalies should be 11th to 19th of December, coming out average to slightly above. Not going to be desperately warm, but it's going to be milder than average for the weekend. And precipitation anomalies from the 11th to 19th of December, they're coming out drier than normal. The latest wind from that from earthnullschool.net has a big area of low pressure sitting just to our west. Got one more low to push through, and then the trend will be upwards from Wednesday onwards with the pressure. Okay, let's start getting with chart data then. So this is our latest UK Met Euro run. It's looking big night on Thursday. Still with deep low pressure around Green Iceland. High pressure trying to nose up from the southwest into Friday and the weekend. This area of high pressure takes over. Very mild high ridging up from the south. Basically, it's the Azores high building into Western Europe. So by the 17th of December, we're drawing up along fetch southwesterly from the Azores. There'll be a lot of cloud, I think, with this area of high pressure. The southwesterly winds. Very little chance of an inversion. Might get a little bit of frost and fog going down in the south, but I think really there's going to be too much cloud, and with the southwesterly wind, temperatures will be pretty mild as well. That's as far as we get to with the latest UK Met Euro run. Gets us to midnight next Monday, and high pressure set over France and Germany, Spain, Portugal, and we're still drawing up this very mild southwesterly wind. Right, icon again looking a little bit unsettled for Thursday, but Friday into the weekend, high pressure takes over. To the south, we drag up this long fetch southwesterly, bring very mild air all the way up from the Azores. Just sides, but we're beginning to flatten the ridge off a little bit maybe by next Monday. So slightly cooler air waiting in the Atlantic to push in, probably behind a cold front or something. But still very mild up to the beginning of next week, definitely. This is the KMA from South Korea, of course, all looking much of a muchness for the end of week and the weekend. That area of high pressure taking over, centred over France. Big warm ridge. It gets flattened off with the early part of next week, then pulls out to our west. That's in a slightly cooler position. So high pressure actually comes back in again. Don't get a cold snap, but we do get high pressure sort of pulling out west and then coming back in again around the 22nd to 23rd December. We're under high pressure, and it's a cooler ridge as well. So what happens with that is that we start off drawing up those very mild southwesterly winds. Then as the high pressure pulls out to the west, a cold front, which will be a very weak cold front, but a cold front nonetheless drops southwards. Freshen the weather up, freshen the temperature up, and then the high pressure builds back in. So as this high pressure comes back in, it's within cooler air, and that would suggest like frost and fog really as we're going into the pre-Christmas period. That's the eve of Christmas Eve now, 23rd. So looking very cold across eastern and southeast parts of Europe, by the way. White Christmas with the Balkans, maybe even down into Greece and Turkey with that. Okay, with GFS midnight run, let's carry on. Bring low pressure to the north, around Iceland, Green, high pressure southwest, trying to nose up from the southwest on Thursday. High pressure takes over into the weekend. A little bit further north, which area of high pressure for GFS have consistently had it. Could bring some cooler weather to some parts of the country with a little bit of frost and fog ridge, but still it's a mild ridge, air coming up from the southwest, so that's a warm area of high pressure. Early next week, the high pressure pulls out to our west, the cold front starts moving in from the northwest. That will bring towering rain with it. We still get cold snap on the GFS midnight run, so when the high pressure pulls far enough west to allow these cold northerly winds to dig in, upper air temperature go down to minus 10 at 850 HPA across central northern parts of Scotland. There will be wintry showers, snow showers coming southwards with that. It's only a very brief cold snap, and then the high pressure slips south and allows the Atlantic westerlies to come back in. So that's Friday 22nd of December, just beyond day 10, turning milder. And then into Christmas period, the GFS 6 looking wet and windy. Actually, on Christmas Eve, a band of wind and rain pushes through the country, mild temperatures too. Christmas Day is about a pancake, really, and is showery westerly winds, low pressure floor, high pressure down to the south, and that carries on into Boxing Day as well. By the very end of GFS midnight run, another low zipping through, and just starting to turn a little bit cold into far north of the country as well, but still basically set up with a mild pattern. As long as this high pressure sticks around Spain, Portugal, and back to the Azores, it's going to be a westerly Atlantic-driven pattern, really. That's the midnight run. This time, GFS 6 is looking. Again, the high pressure is getting a foothold at the end of the week and into the weekend. Now, this big area of high pressure taking over a dry and very mild scenario. Early next week, the high pressure pulls out to the west. We allow in something a little bit cooler from the northwest, but still a mild, really. Switching the wind around to just about a northerly by the 20th of December, so a bit of a cold snap likely then, but most of the cold with the trough of low of northerly winds going into northern parts of Europe there Actually, we're just on the very edge and periphery of it. In any case, wind backs into west. It turns milder again as we get just beyond day 10. And Christmas looks like this on the 6th there. So, Christmas Eve, probably a bit on the cold side of the far north of Scotland. And there will be a band of rain through the country. Maybe some of that could turn a bit wintry on the leading edge. It is still mild though down in the south. Christmas Day turning wet and windy with this deepening area of low pressure developing in the Atlantic, and that's sweeping through the country as we go through into Boxing Day, leaving us in a strong westerly wind, and that's feeding in lots of showers by the 27th of December, and those showers could maybe be a little bit wintry up in the north, but it's all Atlantic driven, it's all Atlantic, so no real suggestion there of a particularly cold Christmas. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. You're going to have a look at strat data at the very end of the video, by the way. So things are starting to hint at getting a little bit interesting, stratosphere-wise. More about that at the end of the video. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. And as I say, we need to put on around 80 subscribers to get to 17.5k. If you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, it would be incredible. And we thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Okay, but GM once more has that high pressure nosing up the southwest on Thursday, taking over through Friday and into the weekend, looking very mild then with those southwesterly winds. Into the beginning of next week, a cold front starts coming in from the northwest, just brings a band of rain and freshens things up, and then high pressure comes back in again through the middle of next week, which gets us to the 21st of December under this ridge of high pressure. There might be frost and fog down the south, but in the north it's still looking generally mild. West winds no northerly with the GM, and then the ECM at WF looks like this once more. High pressure noses up southwest on Thursday. That high pressure strengthens, takes over through the end of the week and into the weekend. High pressure is dominating, drawing up that really mild southwest wind. I reckon we could get temperatures into mid-teens Celsius here, maybe even the upper teens Celsius, somewhere like eastern Scotland through the weekend to the beginning of next week with a bit of phone effect. It's going to be a very, very mild, if not warm, southwesterly wind. We finish up with the looking like that. High pressure still to the south, low pressure to the north, flat Pancake, and bring in generally a mild westerly wind for the 21st of December. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from TemperatureChannel.com. One more band of rain to push through tonight, and then showery conditions continuing into tomorrow. Then we're turning drier, although there is showery rain coming in from the northwest on Thursday, but basically we're turning drier in the second half of the week. Very wet for western Scotland though, so this southwesterly is a very wet pattern potentially for the northwest of Scotland, so there the rainfall totals could really pile up actually through the weekend and into next week. But otherwise a lot of cloud, mainly dry weather until we get to the early part of next week, and then we push that cold front through, bring some more wet weather in with it for high pressure re-establishes up to day 10. And these will be up on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets to 21st of December, 13 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure reaching up from the southwest, bringing a lot of dry and mild weather with it. Low pressure out to the northwest up here, winds are coming in off the Atlantic. We've got 10 with low pressure more towards Scandinavia, high pressure pulled out to our west of us a little bit. That brings in perhaps a cooler northwesterly push. 9 with high pressure over and to the west of the country. Should be a lot of dry weather in with that. We've got 8 down here again with high pressure to our west. That brings lots of dry weather. The air with most of these actually coming in off the Atlantic, so not particularly cold. 6 with high pressure to our west, and low pressure more towards the east southeast, so that's a little bit colder. That would bring in the wind more from a northerly. That will be in line with the GFS midnight run, I suspect. A bit of a northerly snap, and then 5 with low pressure much more in control. So that's still mild westerly Atlantic driven, but that's more unsettled. Most of the options are high pressure dominated, though, so dry and mild at day 10, and then in 2 weeks time these are the options that we've got. It gets us to Boxing Day, 26th of December. 24 members of the ECM Ensembles with deep low pressure over the country, looking very unsettled again by them. 15 with high pressure to the south, low pressure is to the north, winds are coming in from off the Atlantic, and 12 again looking unsettled with low pressure in control. So although we have high pressure dominating at day 10, looks like by Christmas we could well find ourselves back to low pressure and the wet and windies return once more just in time for Christmas. CFS V2 means a 500 millibar high times breaking down to week periods. The first week period will take us from the 11th to the 17th of December. So the next week we'll have high pressure to our south and southwest. Low pressure will be to the north, northeast. Winds will be coming in from a westerly direction. Week 2 is going to be the 18th of December to Christmas Eve. High pressure dominating weather over into the west of the country. Should be a lot of dry, mild weather with that. Week 3 is going to be Christmas Day to New Year's Eve, and high pressure is just out to our west then. So mostly dry. Could be a little bit cooler with that. Winds coming in from a northwesterly direction. Looks anticyclonic though, so I wanted to say about turning unsettled again for Christmas, you know, but CFS isn't really showing that today. There is a discrepancy there. And then week 4 is New Year's Day to the 7th of January with high pressure again just to our west-southwest, low pressure to the north, and winds remaining from a westerly direction. Cold for Eastern Europe there, and into Western Russia with that trough of low pressure. Let's have a very quick look at some strat data before we go. So we continue to see some quite interesting signals of stratospheric temperatures at 10 HPA over the North Pole by around Christmas. This is the latest GFS 6 Zebra. So the blue purple colours here, these are the cold temperatures, of course, at 10 HPA in the stratosphere. That's like the polar vortex at its roots. So over the next few days, not much change. We keep these minor warmings going over toward the far eastern side of the North Pole, but basically the polar vortex still in business. And then we go through, so where am I going? Yeah, right, we go through to the extended range with the GFS 6 and again, not much happening until we get to around Christmas, and then all of a sudden, look at that, a significant warming starts getting going over Siberia. That isn't quite reaching the level of a sun stratospheric one in terms of the temperature there, but it looks like it's going in that direction. Of course, it isn't an SSW up to that point. That's 27th of December. So to be a genuine SSW, sun stratospheric warming event, that's got to move from, so the temperature of that's got to go up a little bit more, and then it's got to move from Siberia into the North Pole, either displacing or splitting this blue area, these cold temperatures, polar vortex essentially, and reversing the zone of wind. So up to that point, that's not SSW, but it might be the start of something. It could be. Just have a quick look at the GFS Ensemble. So this is the control run, and that also developing quite a significant warming over Christmas over Siberia. Ensemble member number 1 looks like that, much more toned down with that one. Ensemble member number 2, that's producing, well, that's getting to sun stratospheric warming temperature levels anyway, with both deep red colours. It isn't, as I say, it isn't an SSW up to that point, because it's over Siberia, it's not over the North Pole. So to be a proper SSW event, that's going to be from Siberia to the pole, and either displace or split these blue colours. But again, it could be the start of an SSW. Ensemble number 3 looks like that, very significant warming with that one also showing signs of penetrating into the North Pole as well by 27th of December. Week 4, remember this is all unreliable time frame stuff though, so it's not by any means guaranteed to verify. Ensemble number 4 again is also producing quite a significant warming there over Siberia. Ensemble member number 5, much more toned down. Ensemble member number 6, again, that was more toned down, but it is producing a widespread warming from the Med all the way into Russia. Ensemble member number 7, again, that one producing quite a significant warming over Russia as well. By Christmas, ensemble number 8 looks like that, much more toned down, but you notice that when the PB is becoming quite stretched here, so that could be going in the direction something interesting happening. Ensemble member number 9, that one's a little bit toned down as well. Ensemble member number 10, going for quite a significant warming short of an SSW temperature level though. Ensemble member number 11, like that's going for a major warming of the stratosphere over Siberia. Ensemble member number 12, looking like this. Again, that's more toned down, but the PV with blue colours are becoming really quite stretched there, so being put under stress, pressure at the very least. Ensemble member number 13, doing something over Siberia, not as warm as some of the ensemble members. So ensemble member number 14, again, looks like that. Ensemble member number 15, producing some sort of warming, but short of an SSW temperature level. Ensemble member number 16, again, that's doing something as well, but could be quite interesting a couple of days further on. Number 17, big warming there going on through Southern Europe into Russia and back into Siberia as well. Very large scale warming taking place with that one. Ensemble member number 18, that one's more toned down. Ensemble member number 19, again, that one a little bit more toned down. Ensemble member number 20, quite a significant warming taking place there over Siberia with that one. Ensemble member number 21. Again, quite a significant warming with that one. Number 22 looks like that. Again, quite a significant warming with that one. Ensemble member number 23. More toned down. Again, the PV is becoming quite stretched, warming on both sides, taking place at the pole there, stretching out the PV a little bit. Ensemble member number 24. Again, looking quite significant with warming there. Ensemble member number 25, going for a major warming of the stratosphere over Siberia, possibly starting to show signs of beginning to penetrate into the pole itself as well. Ensemble member number 26, looking like that. Again, major warming stratosphere with that one. Ensemble member number 27, also going for a very significant stratospheric warming event over Siberia. Ensemble member number 28, again, going for quite significant warming. Number 29, looking like that. That's a little bit different. That's producing quite a significant warming over Europe. Eventually, you would suspect that would get up into Russia, though. Notice, again, the BB being stretched and pulled there, being put under pressure. And then finally, ensemble member number 30. Looks like that, and not much happening then with number 30. That was much more toned down. So we should wait and see. Things beginning to start looking quite interesting in terms of the stratospheric level. Anyway, and let's have a look and keep an eye on it and see how it all progresses. Remember, we are expecting, based on our winter forecast, an SSW this winter due to the combination of the ECQBO with El Nino. We think we're likely to get a sudden stratospheric warming, and we think it's more likely to be the kind of warming that could have an impact, in terms of blocking and whatnot as well when it gets going. But the question is, when is it going to happen? In the winter forecast, we went for January, but we did say, it could be earlier than that, could be later than that. So it's a wild card, and although we think we will get an SSW, when it happens is uncertain. So, a couple of indications there, but it's only with GFS and its ensembles. We had this last winter where there was a lot of messing around, waiting for the SSW, and although it started showing, hinting at it with GFS ensembles in December, the SSW itself didn't actually happen until we got into February last year, and it had more of an impact on the early spring than it did on the winter. So, as I say, let's just wait and see where things go. Anyway, we're done with today's video. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Please like, share, subscribe if you've enjoyed it. And we're going to be back tomorrow with more. As I say, there's not the Christmas update tonight, that'll be released tomorrow because I'm out for dinner, and no 6 AM forecast tomorrow either. So I shall see you tomorrow though with the ECM extended outlook for Europe, and also 10 to 14 day and that Christmas update as well. So enjoy the rest of your Monday. I say I'm out for dinner. I'm going to have a nice meal out tonight, and maybe a couple of glasses of a magic water, I don't know. And I shall see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Monday, and bye for now.